Good morning, art buddies, and welcome to Bricolage with me, Girly. Looks like I just got some company. Gosh, my room is so cold. This glass is so cold. I have worn more sweaters this winter than I have ever in my life. There's my lovely. Hi, Jacqueline. Look, I didn't clean my desk. I got glue and scuff marks. Okay, I'm going to start picking through because I'm working on a project. I thought I had enough pulled out, but I do not. So I thought I just might work with buttons today. I love buttons. Now I'm going to get this little lid here so I can dump them in, so I can see what I'm doing. And hopefully so you can see better what I'm doing. Jen, hi. Hello. Look, I'm scooping some like this. Just grab a handful. Now I've been working on this project with, I guess I started it Tuesday night. Hey, Linda, good morning. And I'm covering the pages of this little health magazine kind of flyer thing that came. Let me move this out of the way. Hopefully, well, I can put it here and I can grab more if I need to. Oh, here, this one would work, but I got to take that thread out. So I'm looking for pinks and, oh, Jen, get some more. That's a good project to just sit and go through buttons. Okay. I could do this all day. Look at buttons. And I have several tubs of buttons. And I'm thinking, why don't I use them more? All right. So I'm picking out these colors here. Pinks and greens and whites. Not this guy. This guy fell. This is a little purple, but I think this one's going to work. So these kind of like springy colors. Now, see, I love my nails, but sometimes they're a nuisance because I can't pick some things up. I have buttons that I can't use. I can't use them because I love touching them. Okay, then see, I really should have therapy. This one I think is a little too bright. But I'm trying to overlap them a little bit. Some of that's not working so well. So I'm just going to start pulling out. There's another little heart. And the greens, I'm looking more like a light sage kind of a green. Not so much. Well, this is not so much like a grass green. You know what I mean? Now these buttons here happen to be my buttons that are not super special or anything. Now, see, this one I really like. My friend Ed, who is in heaven now, had a whole bunch of these, and he said, "You want them? You can have them." So I took them up on that offer. Oh, see, I've got a bunch of them, but they're square and they look like mother of pearl. And I'm kind of looking for maybe this size or smaller. And I'll show you why in a little bit. I don't want the shank ones because I think they might be a little tough for what I'm using. For what I want to use them for. See, now that's a different kind of a pink, but I think it'll work. So I'm working on this little, oh, look, here's a clear. That might be fun to use. That one's clear. It's plastic. It's not glass. Plastic. I love ordering a big box of buttons and then have when they come, just sitting and going through them and looking at every freaking button. Oh, this still has a little staple in it. You know how sometimes they would staple them to the little card? This still has a little staple in it. So anyway, so I've got this little see, I pulled out a plastic on Tuesday evening. I pulled out a zipper pouch, and whatever was in there, I wanted to do something with the contents. And so it had this little health flyer in it. So I decided to cover the pages and make it into a journal. So, of course, it's turned into a several-day project now. Some of these are like a little flesh color. There's a dark pink. See, this one's a little too purpley, I think, for what I want. I'll put that one back. And so I used paper that was already folded. Hey, Ange. Good morning. You're not late. Homemade soup. Oh my gosh, I love soup. Oh, soup. What kind of soup? And now she's sewing. She never stops. This might be a little too yellow. They call me Mellow Yellow. That's right. Yeah, that's really yellow. Look, it's a shank. That's disappointing when you see one you think it's going to be a good color, and then you flip it, and see, this is old. It's a shank. See how ADD I am? Look at that one. Doesn't that look cool? All right, so these I'm going to dump back in the corner. Oh, that's kind of cool. And I'm going to get another couple handfuls. So I put a piece of lace over where, oh, good morning, Cynthia, over where I had this fold in the paper that I wanted to use. And then as I covered the pages with the way I was working the journal, putting the journal together, the pages started to stick beyond the front cover. It's just a little stapled flyer, you know? So to put another piece of lace on the edge of the cover, it just didn't look right because there was lace too close together. So I said to Jacqueline, I need an idea. I need an idea to extend that cover. That's not really, boy, that one's really big, but we'll put that aside. To extend the cover that's not like lacy. See this button right here? This button is so silky smooth. I can't use it. I just want to touch him. He's beautiful. Okay. It's just a plain green button. Yes. You have entered the twilight zone. I am a freak. That's a cute one. So I got thinking, I was thinking I could do paper, or I could maybe try to make myself a cloth. Oh, that's a nice one. A cloth to ruffle. But I don't think I would be very good at that. So I made that idea. And then, oh, look at this one. That one's cool. Look at that one. I know you think I'm nuts, right? Leah, I sent you a message. I don't know if you're on Instagram or what, but he said, oh my gosh, I'm so glad to see you. How are you doing? What was last night? I don't even, what's today? Thursday, Wednesday. Oh yeah, I had to go to sleep early. We had to be up early. We had to be up early today. Up and out, up and out. Scooter's cast is off. He's still not allowed to put weight on his foot. Leah, you doing okay? Oh, look at that one. Most of these aren't worth anything. They're just, they're just cool to me. Oh, here's a different kind of a yellow. That might be a little too gold. So anyway, I'm thinking, what can I do to this cover? And then I thought I could put doing good, life is crazy, isn't it though? Yes, it is. That one might work. So I thought if I put buttons on the edge, maybe that would solve my problem. So then I started to lay them out and think about it, but it didn't bring them over far enough. So I'll show you what I did in a minute. So I started, it's not finished because I didn't pull out enough buttons because I thought, well, the outside cover is one thing, but then you flip that cover open and then what am I going to have? All stitches? No, so I didn't like that idea. So I decided to put buttons on both sides. Now, Debbie Epps had one of her journals that she sold, and it had a button edge, and I just fell in love with it. And of course, I couldn't get in quick enough to buy it. So I thought, well, I could do that myself. So I did. I took a composition book. I'm just trying to see here if I can see. Oh, there, is that it? I think that might be it. So I took a composition book and I copied what I thought she did. Okay. And of course, she would recommend you do the cover last. Because if you're working in the journal or the art journal, you don't want to get your cover messed up. But I didn't listen because I was anxious to do this idea before I forgot. Now, she did hers with wire, which is what I did on this cover. But the cover I'm working on today, I'm doing it with embroidery thread. So let me unwrap. So I have this wrapped and covered. I haven't done anything. So this is just a composition book that, I'm supposed to be doing art in, and I forget that I have it. But I did the cover so I could remember what Debbie did. Oh, that's right. She punched holes into eyelets. So I did that. How fun is that? And I never remember to use buttons. See, now this one, when I cover the inside, I can bring it right up to this. And this doesn't look so great. Hey, Coloring View. Good morning. Good morning. Did I miss anybody? I hope I didn't miss anybody. Hi, Peggy. Good morning. So I'm trying to replicate this idea on the little journal I started Tuesday evening. Now I'm leaving this wrapped in plastic because I don't want my cover to get yucked up. If I ever remember to, pull this out and do some art in it. Wah, wah, wah. I don't want to lose that stuff. I need that stuff. Okay. So you need quite a few buttons, to say the least. See these shank ones? I think they'll be a little too wibbly. So I started and I went and I punched hole. Oh, I should start. I should back up. Let me just show you. See, the back is kind of the same. See, my cover comes so far with the way that I covered the pages in this little pamphlet flyer. See, these are all sticking out and I can't trim them. So I wanted to extend my cover a little bit. But on the front, you'll see I have lace down here because there was a fold in the paper. So to put lace here, it was too much for the front. But I can put lace on this back cover because, see, I don't have any other lace here. See, I have this lace here. So you can see I started my buttons and I decided I was going to use embroidery thread. So now I lost my needle. Then I found it. Now I don't know what to do with it again. Jeez, I'm just a mess. Aren't I a mess? I should call my channel The Messy Artisan or something. Anywho. And then I decided it needed something else. So then I started to stitch. Hey, Debbie, good morning. Then I started to stitch cheesecloth underneath. This up here, I'm going to just stick some in and glue it down. But I'm trying to double side it. Hey, Tooch, good morning. So that I don't just have stitches on this side. So I was quickly running out of buttons. So that's what I'm doing now. If you're just coming in, I'm just picking through these buttons. And, you know, a lot of my, goodness me, a lot of my needles are dull, you know, for stitching a book together, right? But this one was longer and it, did I knock it on the floor again? And it had a nice sharp point on it. So that's why I was using that. It's a little long, but I don't know if I've got another. This one might work. And I need one with an eye big enough to take all those threads. This might work. That actually might even be the one I was using. All right, so I'm probably still going to need more than this. I'm not quite sure. So I thought I'd work on this for a little while, and then I thought maybe I'd do some clusters and sew some buttons on. I don't use buttons nearly enough as I think I should. Because number one, I have tons of them. Hey, good morning, Vale. And I think they're just so fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. Now, when I was starting to do that, I keep forgetting to do the button on the back. Such a major brain here. Cool. Well, there wasn't too many pink in this batch. Oh, look at this little guy. Oh, he's sweet. I might have to go back and stitch some in. Look at this little one. Isn't it cute? Oh. All right, I'll look at one more little lipstick. I don't know. I got a big jar of them here. I just really hate to part with them. Isn't it terrible? It's terrible. I have tons of them. Tons of them. Oh, look, here's a little square, but see, it's a shank. I'm trying to stay away from that because I think they'll be too wiggly and might be a little annoying on the cover. See, I have plenty of these. This was, I think, a kit that I bought at one of the craft stores. Not a kit, a package of just buttons, I should say, not a kit. There's another pink card. It's a dark one. I want this little light guy here. So when we used to sell with Keisha, there was a gal, I believe her name's Carolyn. I forget her channel name. And oh, this guy's just giving me trouble. Oh, we got trouble. And she was going to come on. Her mom collected buttons, and then her mom passed away. So she was going through, and she was selling a lot of them. Keisha was selling a lot of the buttons for her. And I was going to have her come on and visit and talk about buttons. And we did have it set up a couple of times. But she had some stuff going on, and then I think some home renovation stuff, and we just were not able to work it out. And she's on the West Coast, which made it a little more difficult. Oh, there's another one of those eyes. Oh, look, there's another one. Okay. So now let's do this. Let's see if I can get these back in this jar. I don't think I want to go into orange. I think it's mostly, I want the yellow. I don't have much yellow. White, pink, and a lighter green, but not like a minty green or like a country green. At least that's what I have working in my head. I can't pick them up. You see. I just can't pick them up. Let's see, I'll do this. See if this will help me make it like a little scoop. I don't remember my grandmother having a lot of buttons, but she probably did. Of course, I wasn't into any of this stuff when she was alive. So sometimes I'm like, oh man, I wish I had been. But I'm not. I wasn't. I'm going. I can't imagine she didn't have a lot. She had 5 children. I can't imagine she didn't have buttons. Now, my mother, I know she didn't because she didn't like to sew. So we're going to hit on the floor. A little general point. She had an eyelet the other day. She likes to find little pebbles out in the yard, and she brings them in and chews on them. And of course, right now with all the snow, that's not happening. So she was chewing on something, and we're like, "What is that?" And I said, "Maybe she got a little pebble from a shoe or something." But no, I had dropped an eyelet, and she snagged it up quick. She was chewing on it. We can't believe she can chew on something that little and she doesn't swallow it. Hey, Cal, good morning. Yes, that heart button was giving me some issues, wasn't it? So, this is what I'm going to start off with. So, welcome everyone. Thanks for coming in. It's nice to see you all. Gosh, it sure is cold out there. We had to leave a little after 7 this morning. And we got right in, but the gal who had to do my husband's x-ray, Jenny is 2. She turned 2 early January. And she got stuck in traffic. So we got held up just a little bit there to get the x-ray done. But his healing is right on course with what it should be. So he allowed him to have the walking boot, but he can't put any weight on it yet. So at least he's not in a cast, which is wonderful. He can sit and watch TV without the boot on. And of course, he can go to bed without the boot, which he's thrilled about that idea, And he hopped right in the tub when he got home so he could because it just looks yucky and his legs all dry, his foot's all dry. It still had like that iodine stuff, that they paint on before they do the surgery. Still had all that on it. So I just peeked in and he showed me his foot, and oh my gosh, it looks normal. It looks normal in color anyway. His foot doesn't look normal. He's got really bad looking feet. But anywho, progress. We can't believe we're here, so we're excited. All right, so, and then what was it? It was Tuesday night. Yeah, because this is Thursday. Tuesday night, if you were with me, I don't know if you heard it, but I heard a big crash. And I called out to him and I said, "Are you okay?" Because I heard something break. I knew he broke a dish or something. He breaks dishes on a fairly regular, occasion. He said, "No, I'm fine." Well, come to find out later, he fell off his scooter. Hey, Debbie. He fell off his scooter. So he's got a big mark on his other leg. He came too close to the stove and he caught the scooter and it flipped him. Debbie, I was just talking about you and your buttoned edged journal that you sold a while back. And so this is kind of inspired by Debbie. I just happened to remember about doing this. But I don't know what I do with that other needle. I think this is different, but I'm going to try to get it to work. So what I'm doing is using thread rather than wire. I just thought it might be a little easier. I don't know if it really is. I'm using all 6 strands. Oh, Lena did one too. Oh, cool. So I'm just trying to overlap. These are more on the back, are more in a row. I'm not sure why. But one thing I realized is that when you put them on, now if you can use the 2-hold buttons, that's a little easier, I think. So I'm coming into the button. This is a 4-hole, as you can see, and then going right back down across from where I came in. I wasn't doing that initially, and I kept getting the thread on the wrong side of the bouton. Oh, I'm on the top side here. Now I did pre-poke some holes, but this paper it doesn't matter. So what happened was, to extend this, I added paper. I just glued on a little piece, folded it in half. I think it was 2 inches. Folded it in half, glued it on here, and then there's no glue here, so I'm just poking through paper, scrapbook paper. So then when I put the button on, I just got to make sure it's on the right way. See how I've got that? Now I'm going to come down through my paper. There's no rhyme or reason to this, guys. I'm just kind of winging it. See, but it's going through that paper pretty easily. And then I'm just going to snug it up where I want it. And I'm going to come back through because I want to get the other side and do my crisscross for my 4-hole button. Bringing it right back in the same spot on the back side. And of course, I've got the cheesecloth under here now. So I'm just stitching that down as I go. I didn't want to have to sew through glue. Thanks, Debbie. Yes, you should, Debbie Epps. Yes, you should. All right, so we've got some, pink right there. I've got white right there. That's a darker pink. Let's see. But you definitely need more buttons than you think you're going to need. So now this is another 4 holes, so I'm going to do it the same way. Up through the bottom, down through the top. And I'm just going to slide that button where I want it. And just go through the paper. Now I could go through that button there again, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to just come back down through again. So I don't care. I don't care. Now see, I'm going to try to get through a different hole here. I'll keep going in the same one. I'll move that button a little bit. You just kind of wiggle. Yes, I just showed them, Debbie, the one that I did to mimic what you did, that you did the eyelets. All right. So now I'm on the top side again. hardest part is deciding what you're going to put on. I don't know if I like that yellow. I've got yellow there. Maybe a smaller. Well, he looks kind of yellow. I didn't put any green. Well, I guess that looks a little green. Let's see. I don't know if my needle's going to go through this one. I did check that initially, but then I forgot to check. Oh, yeah, it works. Okay, so up through the bottom, down through the top. Now this one's only a 2-hole, which is nice. When you first get started, it's difficult, but you want to just make sure you're pulling your thread and keeping it tight. Now like I said, I did make some pre-punch some holes. I haven't used too many of those. Now, see, this is what I keep doing. I wanted to go back in to catch that button again. Hey, Zippy. But I have to put another button on, or I want to put another button on back here so that I, don't have a space, an unwanted space. Oh, tax questions. Oh my gosh, you're a wonderful mother. You can answer them. I know nothing. All right, so I can go through this one again. I think the trick is to pull it tight. And I'm using the thread because I thought that would be easier for me than to use the wire, to try to pull the wire tight. I'm going through again. I like the longer needle because then it's easier to grab a hold of. All right, so I'm just coming up anywhere over here. That really doesn't look green, does it? Let's put another little heart. So just make sure you get it. Oh, thanks, Debbie. Debbie said she saw the idea originally from Ingrid Diker, Running Rabbit Studio, an artist near Kathy Berg. Okay, that's cool. So it's a little bit fiddly, but I think the end result is worth it. My glasses are slipping down on my nose, making me sound like I've got a nose full of whatever. But I don't. I don't. Now I'm going to come back down through. And then, of course, I'm stitching on and it looked fine. Oops, wait a minute. I don't want to pull my thread out. It looked fine without the cheesecloth, too. I mean, it did, but I just thought it looked like it could use a little something else. Now, my thread is not going to be quite long enough, as you can see. So I'm going to have to knock this off somehow and start it up again with another piece of thread. And now I'm on the back side. Let's see. Now, if you're a real planner, you could plan this all out, color-wise, size-wise, and all that jazz. But, I basically go by the seat of my pants, and you might have to take your needle, like this under your thread and give it a pull. But you just want to, in my opinion, get it as tight as you can get it. Oh, this one's pretty. This one's got a little mother of pearl look to it. Let's put another one over here on the back. What did Anne say? Why not glue? Yeah, I was thinking they would snap off if I did glue, especially on the front cover. Now this thread may not hold up too terribly long, but I think it might be okay. Now this I want to try to get back into that area over here where I can grab the buttonhole that I didn't go through yet. Now, if you're going to do this and stitch through, say, like the other one, like a composition book or a heavier cardboard, like a chipboard or something, the eyelets are a good idea because the hole's there, you know. Going through scrapbook paper, it's not, you know, not too terribly bad. There's Joyce. Hi, Joyce. She loves buttons too. Yeah, I have a thimble somewhere. I just don't know where it is. I know it's really unusual for me, right? Not knowing where something is. It happens. What can I say? What can I say? All right. So now I'm on the top side. Now see, I've got a little bit of a gap here. I didn't do it, so I'm thinking I might just add one button here. Let's see. I think I'll look this over. I mean, really, how bad can it look? Now you could put a little piece of fabric under here too. I think that would look darling. I'm trying to layer them and sit them on top of each other because I kind of like, but you have to put them the way you like them. I kind of like them overlapped and layered. Overlapped and layered, All right, so I think this is going to be my last button. Right this second. Get back in there again. Trying not to split my thread. I'm just going to try to knot it off like I would a normal sewing on a normal button. But I cut it really close. I didn't get that one thread. So that's the idea. Peggy says you need a sewing tin like Grandma always had. Scissors, buttons, thimbles, thread, seam ripper. Yeah, I've got too much stuff. So I've got all that in different containers, but I have a little bit of this and that in all different I'm just, it's me. It's me, guaranteed. Now I'm going to trim this off and I'm going to put just glue some of this because I didn't think of it until after I got started and I didn't want to pull it out. All right. So I will continue this. I don't think I'm going to sit here and do this for, a couple of hours while you're here with me. So now I think because, I think I'm going to this needs to be a little camouflaged as well. I'll glue this on the back. Hey, Michelle, hi. Like this. And now all I have to do is go back through and stuff in things that I think are going to look cute in the journal. Yeah, I started. Got a little journaling card there. But there's not, I haven't put much in here. I don't even know if there's anything other than that. But I also found these that I printed. Where the heck? Oh, I just keep burying stuff. Wait a minute. Oh, there they are. They were behind. But I think color-wise, this will work. This little journal. I had a hard time finding this digital that I printed. I've been buying so many digitals lately. It's just crazy. Well, these will all work, don't you think? I've got to get my glass of water. I got myself a drink and then left it back here. I get very parched. Angie, are you being a stinker? You're being a stinker. She's probably doing 1,200 things. So this is another digital. It doesn't look so good under there, does it? But I think a lot of these will work in here. And here's a different, this is yet another digital. Look how cute these little pictures are. But they're all that light pastel, springy kind of a look. Look at him. Aww. Little bunny in a jacket. Who doesn't love a bunny in a jacket? So thanks, Peggy. So some of these, I might add pockets or whatever. This, I think, still needs a little something. It needs something here. It's too plain there for me. So this ended up looking a little more like Bloom than I anticipated it would be. But yeah. So I really could come through and put like a button cluster somewhere here. So I thought I might try to make a couple of button clusters. This I have to trim off. So really, if I just finish this, yes, when am I not? This is true. This is true, Ange. I don't know, maybe a little tie around it, and then I'll be finished that one. So that's a good feeling. So I thought I would just fuss around with some buttons. Now I don't want to use the ones I've pulled out, the pink ones, because I still need those. And I've got a little tub here that's got it's got more like fabric type fabrics in it, not just shindy stuff, Oh, really, Peggy? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm liking the colors too. I don't really do too much in pastels. But I thought it might be. I just love the digital. Okay, so I pulled out a quilt. It's not a real quilt. It's not okay. By real, I mean it's not hand quilted. It just was from somebody had it on a kid's bed. I bought it at the thrift store for a couple of bucks, and I bought it mostly to use as padding when I'm doing journals. So it's got the batting in between the layers. And in most cases, it's covered up. But I thought I'd take a little chunk of this and start fooling around with it and make some. Hey, Belinda. Good morning. Um, just make some clusters. Of course, I love those wonky hearts. I love the houses too that Janet Nash makes, but I haven't really watched to see how she makes the houses. I guess she just cut those shapes. I don't know if she cuts it all at once or she does the roof different. I'll have to see if I can find it. But I just thought I'd take a chunk of that. Chunka. And then in here, it's mostly like I have bags of my Shindy fabric that I got off of those rugs that I took apart. But this here container is mostly more like regular kind of fabrics. So I'm just grabbing out some pieces that I can start. Now, of course, when I make clusters, I usually am just gluing stuff together. You got your package? I feel like I have told you already, quite a hefty bag full of things to play. The one she just sent you got already? Holy mackerel, that was quick. Wow. See, now there's a piece of shindig. Some of this might be too crinkly. Just pulling out. This here is such soft. I don't know if it's fleece or what it is, but I mean, I could, oh boy. And there's a light bulb. All right, here's a little bit of lace. There's some roses. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to use some glue. Oh, it's from the previous order? Okay, I was going to say, holy mackerel. Do you know somebody in the post? Looks like I've got a lot of blue. There's some denim. That's some painty fabric. All right, let's see what we can do with some of this. And of course, I have a variety of things sitting around my desk. Now, it's always nice to have a little supply of this kind of thing in a jar or a bag somewhere. So when you start to create, Linda, this is what I'm going to send Tim. Now they're kind of punk rock, or not punk rock. They're kind of punkish, but they're trains. I just happened to remember. I thought I saw trains. So I've got your fabric here, and I'm going to put these in an envelope for Tim, and then I'm going to send that off to you. So I'm making progress here on my Happy Mail. I just have a couple that I have to finish up and get. Okay, so this didn't get back in. See, now this is a piece of really old fabric that was on a quilt that I took off. See, this you can just pull it and it tears itself because it's so old. But see, that looks great on in my opinion, on a cluster. I'm just seeing what else I have laying here. So I want the base to be a little more stable. And then I was thinking, you think I'll like them? I'm hoping steampunkish. Yeah, I was hoping maybe he would like them because they're a little different than. All right, now I don't want a huge one, so I'm just cutting little squares. I love it. Wonderful. Okay, cool. All right, so then I was thinking I really should have coffee dyed some of these, and in most cases it's going to be glued down or sewn down. So I'm going to flip this over and have this be the bottom because I didn't take the time to coffee stain this because, quite frankly, I didn't think about it till late last night. There you have it. Well, it wasn't super late because I had to get to sleep. All right, so now I'm just going to take different little snippets. I'm sure most of you are familiar with, making uh, clusters. And we're just going to start stacking some of this stuff. I want that little flower. See, oh, isn't this yummy? Kathy Cal sent me a chunk of this stuff. Now I want to find maybe not one or two, but maybe three or so buttons to put on. Now my dilemma, it's not really a dilemma, but that's wood. That looks wood. Oh, I love this color. I love that color. So instead of just tying thread through the buttons, I'm going to stitch them on. And I'm just hoping that there's a couple of things in here that I think color-wise is going to work. Color-wise. And yeah, she's in and out. She's listening. Angie thinks you're not talking to her again. Angie's got a complex. So if you would say hi to Angie. Jacqueline, I'm being mean. So I'm not making this too. I shouldn't have made it this long, but it is. It is what it is. Now this, I don't think that's going to poke through. I'm looking for something with a pointy. Need something sharper, I think, to go through the fabric. Oh yeah, something like that. Oh yeah, big eye, and a pointy nose. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, so Scooter thought he was going to get the okay to drive the car. The surgeon said, no. So he can start doing range of motion exercises. But, that's just like this kind of stuff, easy stuff. He's still got, it's only 8 weeks since his surgery. So this is great. We thought he'd have the cast on for 12. So, come on. That's great, right? All right. So even though this is going to get glued down eventually to something, I don't want my knot showing on the back side because that's just how I am. I just don't like it. So I usually put my knot, go down through the top, and you want to make sure you get all your layers. That's very long, so I can just trim that. And you could glue this, guys. You don't have to stitch it. I just thought I would stitch them today. And you might not care about having stitches in your buttons when you use them, but I like to have thread in them. I don't like to just glue a button down. Why is today busy, Ange? What you got going on? I had a busy morning. I got stuff to do this afternoon too. I've got phone calls and stuff I should be making. I'm terrible at making phone calls. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Now I think I want these to kind of overlap a little bit. So I have to get them close to each other. So if you're in the mood, you could sit if you sit in front of the TV, or maybe once we get to spring, it's a nice spring day, you have a little patio or a deck area, you could just get outside and just start making these, make a bag of little cuts of bits of fabric. Okay, okay, Peggy. And, start throwing some of these together. And it doesn't even have to be for a journal, it could be for anything. Maybe you're making a doll and she needs a little something on her skirt. Or maybe you're making a tote bag. Oh, wouldn't a couple of these look cute on a tote bag? Oh, you have to do an app. Yes. Well, Angie, your age, I believe me, I understand, honey. Yeah. I know. Once you get a certain age, you gotta take all these things into consideration. I know what you mean. I have to take a nap before I stream on Tuesday evenings. Now you can put all kinds of stuff on this. It doesn't have to just be buttons. But today I was thinking about buttons. So then I'm just going to look. I picked up a fuzz ball of some kind, a piece of thread. So I'm just going to knot this. And then I'm going to put my thread back through. I don't want to come up through a button. And then I'm going to cut it off. And hopefully not cut my cluster. Now you can put paper on this too. You could sew paper down, or you can use glue if you want. But I like the thick, puffy base. But you could use anything you have, really. Piece of canvas or piece of denim. Now let's go blue. Let's go blue. Let's see what we got here. And the more stained and yucked up it is, so the better it is for me. I just think it's cool. Thanks, Debbie. Let's put that there. I don't know what this is. This is the edge of the sheet or something. Here's a chunk of this. Now this, because it's thinner, it's gonna be, I gotta make sure. See, I'm gonna lose this needle again. This is what I do. And then just between me, you, and the fence, my boob knocks it off my desk. Who did I miss? Is Marcy here? There she is. Hey, Crank. Good morning. I'm going to just take a little chunk of this. Put that there. What else? I know I pulled out other blue stuff. Here's a little piece of something blue. I love it torn mostly. And you can layer on as much or as little as you like. Now this is that, oh, here's a piece of denim. I'll be having it. They don't have to all be square. They can be different shapes. I do love this. I had a piece I tore. There it is. This is so worn. Now, maybe a little piece of lace. Little piece of lace. This is why we save all of our scraps, right? What'd Crank say? All right, so now see, this button's already got thread in it. See, now I hate to take that out. See, because that's just old timey. So that I can use on another project that I'm going to glue down. So I'm not going to use that button. Now this one has some thread in it, but it's only half, and it looks like it's all half pulled out. So I'm going to take that out. This looks like an old. It probably isn't, but it looks like an old. It looks like Bakelite, doesn't it? Kind of. So it's not real white, but I kind of like that. I kind of like that. I don't have much in blue, do I? Here's a little blue one. A little baby blue. Look at this. Oh, my son always is calling me when excuse me 1 minute, let me answer him. He doesn't remember mom's schedule. I have a couple of really new blue ones. Let's see if I can. Well, I'm getting my exercise in this. Look, this is like a muted teal. I don't know if I'm going to like it on there, but let's see. There's a dark. Oh, wait a minute. When you go into the button jar for a button and you see one, you go for it. It always goes down about 3 inches. Maybe a little darker one there. That one's, I think, too teal. Oh, see, that's got thread in it too. That's more like a green. This one's more like a robin's egg. I have plenty to choose from. And that's just one jar. If I see a jar of buttons and it's a reasonable price, I just buy it. I don't care. I'll just buy it. This doesn't have any holes in it, but I think it's still considered a button. It's just a little plastic circle. Okay. So I really like this one. And then I think I'm going to add some of those on. I hung my thread up, so I'm going to knot my thread again. Oh, and she going to go get a nap? Okay, now I've got that little skinny bit there, and I've got my lace here. I'll try to catch it all. I think, by George, I think I've got it. Now, sometimes I trim that little tail off because I don't knot it so well. Oops, I forgot to bring my thread back. Hold on. See, this is what I kept doing on the book's edge. I kept forgetting to bring my thread back through to the top. Then I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool if I took some of this um, added bedspread and just added in my coffee dye? Give it a little, put a little grunge on it. And then I was thinking I could probably also use my Timmy sprays or rubbing on some ink, the vintage photo. Oh, you did? How did it mix up for you? I'm going to do my next loaf on Friday. My first loaf didn't turn out so great. Um, yeah, it's proofing. Um, does your kefir have sugar in it? That's what I'm interested to know. Now, how else do I want to go here? Oh, I love that. I could just leave it like that. That kind of looks cute, doesn't it? It doesn't have sugar in it. Cynthia, I couldn't find it um, in a store, so I ordered mine offline. But oh, really? You got it? You got plain at Aldi? They don't have plain at my Aldi. They just have strawberry and blueberry. But I was in my ShopRite yesterday, and that is our grocery, like a local grocery store. They had the plain kefir. I think I'm going to leave this one this way because I kind of like it. Yeah, it's by the creamer and the drink, like the drinkable yogurt stuff. All right, so that's on there pretty good. And if you have a plan and you get like I did, I had a plan. I wanted to put more than one button on here, but I like it that way. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to say it's done. It is done. Now I was just sitting here thinking, I've got all these cute little um, digitals that I printed. What about if I put some buttons on these? Thinking this one in particular. See how all the flowers are? What if I put some buttons in the centers? Let's see if I've got any that are, probably don't have any that are really small sitting out. Some of these are kind of big. Yeah, they're really big. I don't know if I'll have any that will work. Are you real? This little blue one would work size-wise, but I don't know if I like the blue one there. I would have to dig for. See, I don't have my buttons separated by size or color or anything. Craig says, I've got the grandbabe coming next weekend, so I'm going to use some of my sourdough starter to make. Oh, I never thought of using a starter for cookies. Well, that sounds delish. Sounds delicious. I know I do have smaller buttons. I had a small jar of buttons sitting here somewhere. I don't know if there's any smaller ones in there. Might have to let that idea go. Huh. I don't know where I put it. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I'll have to get some little ones out and do that. Marcy says, I've been adding it to so many things, like otherwise it just sits in it. I love adding it to my homemade granola. Really? How does it? Mm. You got a new granddoggy? Oh, I love that. I love puppies. Oh my gosh, I love puppies. I should have gotten into breeding dogs or something. I love puppies. They're too much work. I'm too lazy. One of the gals, oh, look how pretty this lace is. That's really big. One of the gals that used to work for me when I was at the college, she was one of my student helpers in the office. And then she was also a caller for me. I think I'm going to leave the pink side up in this case. And she would bring in this little snack, some kind of granola snack. I said, what are you eating there? And she would give me a taste. Oh, what is this over here? We have that on. I could skill a piece. And she made it with a cereal that she could only get like near where she lived. So, which is Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So my husband and I used to go out there fairly regular. And I'm looking for a bigger pink button. Oh, this is really pink. And it's a little bigger, not huge. Well, that might be too pink. Now I can't forget. I can't remember what it was called. It was some kind of a corn cereal. It looked like a little pillow, like a little poof. Oh my gosh, it had such a different taste to it. And then she would put all this stuff on a cookie sheet, and bake it. And I forgot the recipe somewhere. It was so delicious. Now, I don't think especially healthy for you, but it was good. So I'm thinking like that kind of granola, like how would that starter work in that? She rescued him from Georgia. Oh, is he a mix? Is he a blended dog? Or he's probably. Yeah, it wasn't one of those, Debbie. It wasn't a normal. It was some kind of corn. It wasn't even corn checks. It wasn't. It was like a little pillow and puffy, but it wasn't like an open weave like the Czech cereals are. You know what I mean? It was different. I have to pull that recipe out and see what she called it. I guess I could get it online now these days. I could just eat the whole box of the cereal. It's really good. And I think she had walnuts, and I forget all what she put in it, but boy, it was terrific when it was done. This is pink, but that might work. Oh, these are not big, but they're kind of like not even peachy, like a mauve kind of a pink button. It's funny when you buy different buttons and buy them from different places. or different vendors, or you go to a yard sale and you some that you can still find the same button at a couple different locations, you know. There's a pink. That's a nice pink one. All right, let's see what we can do with these. Might just go a little bit crazy with these. Now I'm thinking this could be a little smaller. Do I want that under? Or do I want that kind of like that on top? But maybe smaller. You bake it as well. Oh, so okay. So you mix the wet ingredients like nut butter. Oh yeah, maple. Oh, I could drink maple syrup with a straw. Vanilla oil and some salt. Got it. Okay, and then mix it into the oats, pumpkin seed. Oh yeah. Oh my, that sounds fabulous. Fabulous. Yeah, so I think I was telling you that I did my bread. It didn't turn out. I didn't cook it long enough. And maybe I'll take a little piece of this. Oh yeah, what kind of puppy? And what did she name? What did she name the puppy? I would like to know that too. What did she name the puppy? You know, I'm thinking this might look cute on the cover of the journal I'm working on. All right, so I think I'm going to stitch this down and then go from there. And we'll see. Let's just start stitching on some of these buttons. And then I think I'm going to go after this, guys. What time is it? Yeah, I am a little weary. I think I'm going to have a nap myself. I'm not used to getting up. Now, I had a doctor's appointment for me yesterday, and he wants to see me again. And I don't know. When am I supposed to go again? I guess 6 months or something like that. And I like to go early because he gets tied up with folks, and then you wait for your appointment. You sit there and wait. Well, I'm not a very good waiter. I hate to wait in the doctor's office. Even if I take something with me, it's just like a waste of time. I just don't like it. Anywho, so I said to her, you know, I would like to have one of the first appointments before he gets behind. And she gave me a date and said it's 8 o'clock. Is that too early? And I said, no, that'll be fine. And she said, it's really early. That's 8 o'clock. It's early. I said, I know, it's okay. And she said, that's really early. I said, I know. I appreciate it. Thank you, but it'll be fine. Oh. Okay, so now I'm not sure. Of course, the dog's at the door. She's going to have to wait a minute. I don't want to cover up that rose completely. This one looks like it has no front or no back. Jen, you have to wait a minute, babe. Hmm. Well, at any rate, I got to bring this thread through to the front. I'm getting hung up on that netting that little rosette is on. She's a Staffy. Her name is Juna. Aw. After the goddess of love and protection. They think she's 2 to 3 years old. She was left in a field chained to. Aw. I know. How do people that do that? How do they sleep at night? I don't understand. The dog can't even like run to go get water or try to find its way somewhere. It just is trapped. Oh well, it's hard to understand. Okay. This one might be a little too bright. What are you chewing on, Jen? What are you chewing on? Why don't you go eat a little bit of kibble while you're waiting for me? I'll be just when you when you talk to her, she moves her head back and forth, like tilts it to one side, then she tilts it to the other side. I'm stealing a pink heart out of here. Oh yeah. See, my husband works for a shelter. He worked for one here in Jersey. Oh, see, I did it again. He worked for one here in Jersey, and then his boss went to Vermont, and he was getting ready to retire, and she said, "How about working for me for a little bit?" So he works, of course, remotely and just oversees the database. But the stories, and they go in and people have all these dogs and they're not clean and they're not fed and they're not sheltered. At least that's how it was in Jersey. And then, they would take them to court and all that jazz. And then next thing you know, be selling them again. Same conditions. Oh, it's a shame. Ah, that's good. It sounds like she's adopting well. I would think sometimes they might have a hard time adapting. Maybe I'll just do 3 on this one. I was telling the story one time. Some of you, I'm sure, have heard it. When I went and got my Bella, um, at the same time, my husband's shelter, he was still with the shelter in Jersey, um, had rescued a Maltese. I love Maltese. And I don't know what litter. Well, they have no idea what litter it was either. But they had just rescued her, and she had a litter of all the puppies were gone. But she was only a young pup herself. She wasn't very old, and she'd already had all these litters, and she'd had so many in a row that her stomach was all stretched, and her stomach just hung. So my husband said to me, well, he didn't know that at that point yet. He said, maybe we should think about getting this little Maltese. And I said, okay, but I'm going to go look at the dog I made arrangements to look at as well. And I think maybe we should just get both of them. But when he went and looked at her and the way her little stomach hung, he just didn't think he could handle it. I said we could have put her in a little t-shirt to hold it up. I would have taken her. Anyway, all right. So I did only got 3 of them done this morning, but you get the idea. And instead of gluing things together, I just took and cut up little bits of fabric, that I have sitting around, and just added some buttons or button clusters. And this is the edge of this one. I'm going to finish this up this morning. Well, it's afternoon now. So I just have a little bit to go down here. And then I'm going to put some cheesecloth behind these buttons up here. See, this one's still a little wiggly. Had a hard time getting that tight. But I'm wondering if I should just put this one. Do you think that's too much? If I put that on? Yeah, she's been yeah. That's what they did to this little dog. They took care of her and got her spayed and stuff. But I would have taken them both. I think Jenny is eating her food. That's what I hear her crunching on. So yeah, so now this is double-sided. So when the journal gets opened, you've got some buttons in there as well. So I might sneak a few buttons throughout this journal now when I go in to decorate the pages. So if you can give me your opinion, I would appreciate it. So just the cover this way, or should I add the? Do you think that's too much if I add the cluster? Hmm. Maybe I should make a wonky heart and put on there. A wonky heart sitting somewhere. And then we could just have a look, see, and see how it. Oh no. She's moved that too. I just had a wonky heart in my, oh, it's over here. I mean, not this one. You think the little cluster looks good? Everybody says yes, add it. Hey, hi, Vicky. Mm. Okay, cool. All right. Sorry I had to start a little late today. Vale said, I'm wondering if that dusty pink is a little heavy looking. Oh, you think? Oh, this? Yeah, maybe I'll make another one without that and see which one I like better. That's a good call. That's a good call. I appreciate that. Thanks. Um, yeah, I got a little bit of a later start today, so I'm a little bit off. So, I appreciate you coming in and spending some time with me. So get out those buttons and start using them a little more. I should use mine more. Same with everything, right? Washi tape, ribbon, everything. Thanks, Tooch. You think it's a little too much, Kel? Okay, honey, thanks. I think Vale's right with that dark spot. I didn't think about that. I still have that pink glue. I still have some of the other bits, so I can make another one. Painted Girl, is your real name Lori? Well, not really. It's not my legal name, it's a nickname. But yes, I go by Lori. That's what people call me. Oh, I don't use my first name or my middle name. Lori is it? Oh, yeah, sure. Jacqueline has to pipe in and laugh at that. Oh, Lori is a nickname for my middle name. Okay, it's not even a nickname for my first name. Okay, because there is no nickname for my first name. It's just, it's partially why I need therapy. Oh, really? Again? Oh, what about Jersey, Vale? Is Jersey going to get anything else? Hmm. Maybe I should just do a heart. No, well, this is a little too cruddy, I think. I think it needs something else here. Personally, I think it needs a little something else. Where's the end of this? Anywho, have to work it out. Have to work it out. Massachusetts is getting more cold after a couple of, oh, geez. We just are amazed at how pulling back into our development this morning, coming back from his appointment, none of it has melted. It's just it's everywhere, and we didn't get, we got maybe, I don't know, 6 inches, 8 inches, something like that. We didn't get a tremendous amount, but people still don't have their cars shoveled out. Like he goes to this, I've often said we're having his Bible study. People are coming for dinner. Well, they go to each other's homes. They're going to meet tonight. They can't go to each other's homes because there's nowhere to park. I didn't even think about that. There's nowhere to park. Anywho. All right, my dear friends, it was so nice to see you this morning. I hope to see you again Sunday morning at 10 Eastern. We'll have a little crafting time together, I hope. So until then, if I don't see you somewhere else, oh, and don't forget, if you can, Saturday, I'm decorating my chocolate box at 10 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to decorate my chocolate box, and that's in a little collab with Curiously Michelle, who was here a little earlier. She may still be here, but she's got folks lined up the 1st through the 14th to decorate a chocolate box. So that should be interesting, I dare say. No, we're not blood sisters. But we are definitely connected somehow. I have a sister named Jackie. Actually, my sister is not a Jacqueline. She's a Jacqueline. My mother thought she was clever. My dad was always called Jack. So she took the JAC and hooked a Lynn on there, Lynne, made up her own name, Jacqueline, not Jacqueline. Yeah, and then she didn't give her a middle name. So my youngest sister was tormented by that, and I've been tormented by my name, entirely. Yeah. Nancy, our middle sister, got Nancy Lee. Okay, she was the favorite. That's what we keep saying. She was the favorite. Nancy disagrees, but my mother never denied it. She got the best name. Here I am, 72, still complaining about my name. Anyway. All right. I'm going to scoot. Go grab some lunch. Probably have an Angie nap. And maybe work a little bit at my desk today. Anywho. That's the story here. Don't forget, take time to be creative. Enjoy the journey. Until next time, sweet, sweet art buddies. Stay warm wherever you be. Stay warm as you can be. Oh, I wish we had a fireplace. I think Jenny and I will snuggle under an electric blanket. All right, friends. See you later. Bye for now.